bars inside. This one didn't, but you could bring like your own beer, and people were cooking and stuff. And obviously it's pre-corona, 5 years ago, so it's packed, right? So many people from all over. So I thought that was really chill. We were meeting, you know, the guy that checked us in. I think he was from Poland, if I recall. You know, there are people that work at the hostels that are like volunteers there to stay for free, or I think some might be paid. I'm not really too sure about all the working at the hostels. But yeah, you know, we get there, we're meeting all these people, right? It's cool, right? First day. I'm like, all right, you know, I'm in Amsterdam. Like, I can't partake. I can't do, you know, a lot of the illicit things, but I can still enjoy here. I can party with these people. I can do whatever, explore. And for me, it was really cool to just exchange stories, right? And so I've been in a lot of hostels since then. I've learned a lot. And so before, I didn't realize, like, it's kind of cool to meet people from your own country. Like, I mean, at least for Americans, because it's like, oh, what part of America are you from? Oh, I'm from here, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, so there were like but the Americans I met at this hostel at first, they were like detectives, you know, they were asking like, oh, what do you guys do? You know, we were like, I don't want to tell them, you know, oh yeah, I mean, I was in the military, right? I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'm in the military. I just was like, you know, oh, I just, you know, work, whatever. And dude like kept pressing, and I was like, all right, bro, like, what's your issue? And I remember he was like trying to get us to smoke weed, and he was like, why aren't you smoking weed? And I was like, dude, like, just because I don't want to do it, you know, just very antagonizing, I'll say. So that, you know, I don't remember the guy's name. I remember he's from Minnesota. Or baseball. I don't remember. We're not gonna get into that. Maybe he'll watch this video. Who knows? But you know, there's all these other people too. Like in our room, there's an older guy from the UK who seemed pretty chill. We met. There's some people from like a bunch of people from Argentina were in the hostel. Actually, I don't remember many of their names, unfortunately. But I just remember like we'd go out. Like one night we all went out. I remember there were two girls from Canada. I don't remember their names, but they were like super cool, right? Like they were telling me about stories about their hostel in Brussels where some older dude had brought back a worker, right? You know what I mean? A worker back to the hostel. You know, these are shared rooms, and he was like getting his business on with the worker. And like, I was like, all right. And this is like a grown man, like, because at the time I would have been 23, and these girls, I think they were like 20, maybe 19. And they said this dude was like in his 50s. All right, so like, what are you doing that for? Like, you know, you should know better by then. But yeah, they're all pretty cool. We all went out to the bars. I just remember like, and so in Amsterdam, they have these huge moats, right? And a lot of people, they were drinking. They're like just chilling, like sitting on the moats. Like, I don't even know how deep the water is, but like, all right, y'all are getting kind of, hiccup, oops. I was like, y'all are getting kind of close to the water there. Y'all might want to chill. And they're going back and forth. I remember I was just talking to them, you know, but I was also trying to be like, I don't say babysitter status, but back then I didn't really drink much at all. Like I didn't even really care for the taste of beer, like occasional beer here and there, but you know, I wasn't really, so I was like on alert mode, I guess, trying to watch out for other people. And it's people you never really met. You're just all going out and people are just acting crazy and stupid. I remember the Canadian girls made it really chill, so that was cool that night. But then also, it's like that same gentleman from the UK. I remember, not him, there's another guy. We were biking. So in Amsterdam, they do have legal, like prostitution, things like that, and drugs and whatnot. But I remember one guy on our bike ride going to the center, he just kept on complaining. Like he was talking about like prices of things and this and that. And I was like, all right, like, why do you care? He just kept going on and on. So it got a little bit annoying, right? So that's when I realized there's some weird people in the world. See, my brother's so rude. We do one take, not edits. I was like, all right, like, why are you still on this? Like, get over it. But then also, it's like Amsterdam, when you ride bikes, it's kind of like, it's like driving a car, right? And so the hostel, which was cool, they had bikes you could rent, you know, I don't remember if it cost anything, whatever. So we're going down to the center, like I said, we're pretty far, but they have like these dedicated bike paths that are a lot more organized than any city I've ever been in Amsterdam. And the dude just kept ringing the bell, like ding, 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 ding. And like ringing that bell is kind of like equivalent to honking your horn, right? Just imagine if you're driving down the street and someone just honk, 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 honk. And I was like, bro, like I didn't say anything. I just thought to myself, but I was like, you can't just keep doing this. Like people are giving us looks. Like you got, you know, people with their kids in the back and they're just like looking at you like, what are you doing? Like you stupid tourist. So that was a little bit where that guy was pretty weird because he just kept complaining about random things and he just wasn't very respectful to Amsterdam and to Dutch people, locals, and everything there. But yeah, let's see, were there other weird people? Yeah, there were some other weird stories. Like people would just be, I don't know. I just realized there's a lot of, I mean, when you're sharing that much space, there's like a lot of drama, even though you've just met people for a few days. Like if a bunch of guys, like one girl, for example, they start being like petty towards each other, or vice versa. I'm like, all right, like y'all are never gonna see each other. Like, why are you starting drama right now? Or a lot of what I call peacocking, you know? So it was definitely an interesting experience. One of the best things about that hostel was that there was like a cat. It's like a hostel cat there. I remember it was so cute, right? I have actually a picture on my phone. Maybe I'll upload, I don't know, but he'd just be passed out, you know, like, you know, cats are like, boom, you know, chilling, right? You'd pet him. He'd just be like, oh, what's up? You know, let you keep petting him. I remember one night I was in the lobby, and I guess the cat's owner, because the cat looked well taken care of, but it was like the hostel adopted cat, not really. They would just come in because the doors would be open and hang out. But the woman, the owner came by and she was like, hey, she's like, you know, I know my cat comes here a lot. You know, he likes coming here and stuff. Would you guys not feed him? Like, have you seen my cat? And the guy at the front desk was like, oh, no, I haven't seen your cat. Like, I don't know, lying through his, I don't know why he was lying, but he was lying through his teeth. She's like, yeah, you guys could not feed him, you know, and don't really like let him inside anymore. And he's like, all right, you know, this cat was, I don't remember the cat's name, but it was adorable cat. That was the best part about the hostel. Like I said, it wasn't the best area. You met a lot of shady people. I met a lot of cool people too, but it's been so long I don't remember all their names. I've stayed connected with people from later hostels, but that one not so much. But yeah, let me think. I just remember there's some weird, like the bunk beds. It wasn't too bad because it was only 2 up, so there were 8 of us in a room. But like sharing space with 8 people, it's not ideal. Right? I mean, hostels, I'm all for about like private rooms, because you still get the social aspect without all the annoyance, you know, or having to worry about people stealing your stuff. I mean, obviously your things can always get stolen no matter where you are, but you know, when you're in a hostel with so many people, right, like anything can get stolen. I just remember, yeah, there are people, and that's when I learned that people like travel for, they travel like just to live. Like that's just what they live in hostels pretty much. What I mean, not that they travel, they're just like living in the hostels long term. And I never thought of that before, because you know, hostels are kind of a foreign thing here in America, especially because my earliest memory of hostels is from the movie Hostel, right? So I was like scared. I think I told my mom, she's like, oh no, you know, there's horror movies about Hostel, right? But I will say 2 thumbs up, they're amazing. I prefer hotels, you know, but if I'm traveling alone, or even if you're on a budget, hostels are really good because you can meet some great people. Even better when you're, like say, when you're in another country, and if you do find your own countryman, like that's what I like too in other hostels. I know we're going off topic now. We're talking about other hostels later on. You're gonna meet someone from your country, like, hey, like in the other foreigners, like, oh my gosh, like, where are you guys from? You know, I'm like, oh, I'm from Oregon. And like she's from, or person's from like, I don't know, Miami. They're like, oh yeah, it's so far. Like it's I mean, like a 6-7 hour flight. Like, oh my gosh, you know, it's all cool. And I guess it kind of helps me realize my culture, American culture, and how our culture is so different throughout the states, right? Like it's not all the same. You go one state over, it's completely, people say it's not a different culture because we speak the same language and have a lot of the same traditions, but like, if you compare like a lot of the parts of America, like they're very different from the other. You know, like if you compare Oregon to, you know, where I go to school now in Michigan, or Oregon and Texas, they're completely different, right? I mean, there's some similarities, of course, you know, at the root of it all, we are American, but in general, it's completely different. So that's what I like. And then just meeting people and hearing about what they think about my country or what I think about their country. It's for me, like I consider those healthy exchanges, right? Not attacking anybody, but like, oh, your country sucks. You know, like, you know, genuinely like, oh, so, you know, this is one of our customs, or this is what we saw in the news about your country. This is, you know, true. Like, you know, everyone's about the, you know, fact checking and stuff. And so it's nice to kind of hear from other people like, oh, you know, I've met people from Australia or Portugal, wherever. Like, hey, you know, I heard this about Australia or Portugal. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, sort of, or no. Or I remember one time I told a gentleman, he's from India. I was like, you know, my favorite Indian dish is lamb vindaloo. And he was like, oh, no, you know, that's not actually Indian. He's like, a lot of you foreigners think that. Like, he wasn't being rude. He was like, oh, it's actually a Portuguese origin dish. And lo and behold, I looked it up. It is. So I guess the moral of this story, this long rant, hostels are cool. You're gonna meet some really weird people. You're gonna meet some really weird countrymen that you really don't want to claim. You don't have to claim them, all right? You know, just because you have the same password doesn't mean y'all are buddy-buddy or anything, all right? I've turned them, that's for a whole nother story. Barcelona, Hostel. You know, we got time. We got time. Nah, it's too long. I'll do that in another video, but just because someone's from your country or from your city, I mean, you got to hang with them when you're traveling. Because they might get on your nerves. They might set a bad name for your whole city. Everyone, they'll be going back to their country like, Portland sucks. US, you know. Nope, disconnect. Show the people that you meet that we're not all the same. You know what I mean? That's a big thing. We're not gonna talk about it. Spain. Wow. But yeah, Amsterdam, Hostel. Yeah, sharing space. I don't know. Wasn't bad too. I mean, I guess small tidbit. I think I was the only black guy there. This is a big hostel too, right? I guess that's never bothered me coming from Oregon, but yeah, it was interesting. I don't know. First hostel in Amsterdam. All the good memories and the weird people. That's all. You know, we rant. Deuces.